Some of you might wonder what I mean when I say that I'm a medicine man or a shaman, or the word that I'm finding that's actually part of my heritage is tautos. Modern day, people like me are very important because there's a lot of people out there that have forgotten that we are part of this world. This world was created as part of us and we it. And we're here to show you what you've forgotten. The connectedness that's there. Perhaps it's not pronounced as it is in Avatar, where they plug their hair into the roots and things. But psychically, metaphysically, spiritually, however you want to look at it, there's a deep connection there. You can even go physically. There's aromatic hydrocarbons that are released from trees that increases positive emotions and feelings, and the physical end of it, there's a lot of physical end of it. The bacteria and germs and viruses that everybody's so afraid of, that have been cleaning off of their house for so long. You know, my allergies got a lot better once I started being around the outdoors more, because I've been in and out. But when I started gardening again in 2013 and composting in 2014, it really changed how my body reacts to the environment. My allergies have all but gone away, for the most part. Animal dander still bothers me. But it's amazing to me how many people are afraid of the very things that we need in our world. I could be wrong, but I think a lot of the immune issues, the autoimmune issues, and potentially even cancers have a lot to do with the immune system, and how our immune system isn't equipped anymore to deal with the things that we face today as modern issues. And people, oh, cancer is this and that. Okay, look. Everybody has cancer cells in their body. It's when the immune system stops fighting it that it really becomes an issue. And I'm sure there are genetic factors that are in play there, but not always. And I think with these autoimmune diseases, what happens is, from the research that I've done, from having an autoimmune disease myself, that I think has actually been helped by being closer to my environment. Mine's tied in with gluten, potentially, or it could be tied in with the Epstein-Barr virus, mono, in other words. It depends on what research you look at. But what's interesting is when the body stops having things to keep it in a homeostatic environment, you start to have problems. We know this. You add too much salt. What do you get? You get high blood pressure. You retain water. Let's see. Like, we could go on and on for days about how things affect the body and how not having the right nutrition. What happens when your potassium drops? Your heart gets erratic. You start acting loopy. I've seen it. What happens if you don't have enough water? What happens if you don't get enough sunlight or vitamin D? Or what happens if you don't get enough vitamin C? All these things are from our environment. And if we don't have those things in our body is not going to work correctly. So it's not just a metaphysical or spiritual thing. There's science that backs up a lot of the things that I'm talking about. But there's also a spiritual end of it too. And you can't measure spirituality with science. I have my hypotheses why. But there's also something called the placebo effect. Belief, faith. Faith that you're going to get better, and a lot of people do. You have to believe. You have to have faith. And that comes from spiritual. And that's what a shaman or a medicine man or a taltos or so many different words for the same thing. We look around and we see that connectedness, the things that we need to survive. And it's not just the physical world, because this is temporary. All of it's temporary. See, I grew up seeing things that you don't. I still see things that you don't. I'm sure there's some of you out there that see them, have seen them. I know that there's something beyond this life. I know not everybody can. But that's the purpose of people like me, is to show you that there's something beyond. Because I'm experiencing it. If I could show you, if you could plug into what I'm saying, into my brain, and you could see the experiences that I've had, the things that I've seen, the things that I still see, you'd understand better. But there's a lot of things that I have lived through and reached out to and have reached out to me through spirituality. This world, this beautiful, beautiful world that we're here, we're supposed to experience it. And if you don't experience it, you're not learning. You're not learning what you need to learn. And love is a huge part of that. Today, I woke up so angry. I don't even know why. Could have been the full moon last night, had some weird effect. Could have been everything that's going on in the world. Everybody's afraid. Everybody's sad. Everybody's angry. And I'm feeling it because I feel things like that. It doesn't feel like my anger. I haven't really gotten angry for a very long time. But I'll tell you, that anger didn't just like get washed away until back there hearing the frogs. And it just started melting away, that anger. And as I sit here talking to you, trying to explain to you the purpose that myself and many other medicine people have in this world, this spiritual connectedness that so many people have shunned, and they tell us, these people that see these things, that feel these things like I do, that we're crazy, that we're schizophrenic, that we're broken, that we're damaged in some way, we're chemically imbalanced. Not all of us are. The way that we live isn't for everyone, but you try to make us be just like everyone else. And that is what makes us depressed. That causes a lot of that chemical imbalance. I know because I've lived it. I've lived the depression. I've lived the suicidal thoughts. I've survived it. And I probably will still have it. But there's a purpose and there's a reason why. And we need to stop and all learn from what's going on in the world today to try to fix. And that's my job. That's the job of all the medicine people out there. We need to band together and start working towards fixing the broken side of humanity. Science shows it. What happened with the Native Americans? Have any of you done any research on what has gone on psychologically with the Native Americans since we forced them into certain places on reservations? There is so much violence and abuse of substances because they had their whole lives ripped out from underneath them. And this is why many of us do not function well in the society that we've been given, because we are broken. We are broken every day to fit into a mold that we cannot possibly fit into because we are not it. Y'all talk about free. Y'all talk about liberty. This place ain't free. There's no liberty here. I have to dress a certain way to be taken seriously. I have to look a certain way to be professional. I have to act a certain way to be professional. Why? You start talking about spirits and things like that, people call you cuckoo, crazy, cuckoo birds. Live my life. See what I've seen and call me crazy. I've done my research. I've done investigation scientifically. Scientific method. Yeah, I went to college for it. Yeah, I'm angry. I'm still angry. Because I would need to be taken seriously. Me and a million other people, possibly a billion other people, need to be taken seriously. Your way of life is not our way of life. You need to let us live our lives the way that it should be lived. You can't take over 100,000 years of evolution and change it in 10,000. It takes time to try to make people fit into this mold that you're trying to make us fit into. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen today. Anyways, thanks for looking, everybody. Love y'all. And before I go, I want to show you like where I chose to sit. It's beautiful. Anyways, signing off for now. Love y'all. Later.